3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Hello, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the Sports Shift with me, Ian Marquez. Today, we're going to be previewing this weekend's matches, looking at all the big matchups and talking points. Let's get into it. Well, some pretty interesting matchups. We have Villa at home to Man City. Two teams coming off defeats, hard-fought defeats, both 2-1 losses. This could go either way. Do Man City bounce back? Do Aston Villa get back to winning ways? Let me know. Then you have Brentford hosting Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are in fourth, but we know Brentford's home form has been outstanding. And on the contrary, we have Newcastle away from home to struggling Ipswich. Newcastle have been playing in fine form, but away from home they've been weak. So what gives? We also have West Ham hosting Brighton. Recently revamped West Ham that are playing a lot better over a struggling Brighton side. Do Brighton find their feet, or do West Ham continue their resurgence? Then we have Crystal Palace, who just lost midweek to Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, but that was both second sides. And we know that Premier League form has been way better. They're at home this time, so how's this going to go? We have Everton, who secured a 0-0 draw against Arsenal away from home. We now have them hosting Chelsea. And this reminds us of last season. They're in fine form and Chelsea absolutely slaughtered them. So does Palmer go again and do that? Or is this new Everton just unbeatable? We have Fulham hosting Southampton. Fulham have also been in good form. Well deserved 2-0. Hard fought 2-0 actually. They probably should have won that game against Liverpool. We also know that they got a point against Arsenal. So two good results after Arsenal and Liverpool. Can they now head on to winning ways against Southampton? We have Leicester hosting Wolves. Two teams struggling in the relegation zone, both in desperate need of 3 points. I predict a high scoring game. Let's see what happens. We have Man United hosting Bournemouth. And to round off the games, we have the Super Sunday game of Spurs hosting Liverpool. So let's get into the results. Well, I'm going for Manchester City to bounce back against Aston Villa. I know they've been struggling, plenty injuries, but every club with injuries is not an excuse. And I think they get to winning ways over Aston Villa. We'll also have a struggling defence. Although Nottingham Forest are doing really well this season, I can't go against Brentford's home form. I think Brentford get up to a flying start and Nottingham Forest just can't catch up. Ipswich against Newcastle, I expect a high scoring game, both teams to score, but even though Newcastle's away form has been weak, I do expect them to narrowly edge it. I'm going for 2 draws, West Ham versus Brighton. Brighton have been struggling to create recently, and West Ham have looked a lot better, so I predict a low score and maybe a 1-0 draw. What is it against the surprise of the weekend? I think Crystal Palace hold Arsenal to another draw, and I think it's high scoring, anything like a 2-0. Ismaila Sarr back at it. They also have Eze and Mateta. And Arsenal have been struggling to score from open play. I know they did it midweek, but that was a much changed side, so we'll see how that goes. Everton, after a good result against Arsenal, I think Chelsea get to winning ways. It might not be as easy as some expect, but I think they'll be pretty comfortable. Fulham at home to Southampton. What's to talk about here? Fulham have been playing really well, really solid football. And Southampton have just been struggling. They're looking at a new manager. They'll probably have one appointed by this time, but I think he's running into a tough situation to keep Southampton back in the Premier League next season, and I think Fulham comfortably win 3 points this weekend. For the big relegation game, I have Leicester winning at home to Wolves. Wolves have already appointed a new manager, but they're still struggling to create. Kuna has been scoring 1 goal, but it's not due to the team system creating chances. That's individual quality, and you can't rely on that to continue to win games. Meanwhile, Van Nistelrooy's Leicester have been playing a lot better. I expect Vardy to do what he does, and Leicester to narrowly win maybe a 2-1 or 3-2 victory. Man United at home to Bournemouth. I could easily see Man United dropping points, just because they concede the softest goals, they concede from set pieces, and they don't really make opposing teams work for their chances, and if you don't punish teams or put them away, they will bite you back. Bournemouth aren't very clinical, but if you give them the chances, they will score, and United like to give away chances, so we'll see. I do think United will score as well. Maybe they can outscore Bournemouth. I do have them to narrowly edge it. And then Super Sunday, we have Spurs versus Liverpool. Well, we just saw Spurs versus United, a 4-3 goalkeeping disaster class. 7 of the poorest goals to concede. It was absolutely dreadful. I don't see how they stop Liverpool here. Spurs are only good when they're playing against teams from Manchester. Otherwise, I think Liverpool thrashed them. That defense was terrible. Fraser Forster was dreadful. I think Mo Salah, Diogo Jota, Gakpo, they run rampant. I think like a 3-0, 4-0 victory. So now for our prime picks, well, I have Salah and Isak scoring. Salah against a shocking Spurs defense. Isak away to Ipswich. Ipswich have been pretty decent defensively, but they've still been conceding and leaking goals each game week. Meanwhile, our long shot, we have Saka away to Crystal Palace. I do think Arsenal will score, even though I have them to draw. And Saka is dual goals, so that's why for long shots, I think I'd go with him. For yellow cards, I have Gavardio and Ash Young. And for the long shot, I have Nico Jackson. Ash Young and Jackson are both 1 game away from a suspension. And some people might want to spend Boxing Day with their families. Ash Young is British, so I could easily see him taking a yellow card to get Boxing Day off. I suggest if you're interested in a yellow card bet, you go and look at who is 1 yellow card away from a suspension. Because for example, Jamie Vardy, I can easily see him getting a yellow card this week just to get Boxing Day off. And then any of the British players, like for example Ryan Yates, I can see him getting it off. You know what I mean? So keep an eye on that. For full-time results, I have Fulham winning against Southampton, Liverpool thrashing Spurs, and Newcastle away to Ipswich. The long shot, I have Arsenal against Palace, because I do think that's going to be a very tough game and it's going to be very close. But if Arsenal are dominant, they can get the win. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy this weekend's matches. See you guys later.